Alright guys, last video. So when you're done with this video, I want to make sure that you guys start your homework so you have no homework over spring break. So as soon as this pops up, we'll go ahead and finish the last few problems. So let's go ahead and look at this. So let's go ahead and find these missing shapes. So on all these word problems, what I want you to do is draw a cone. So it says the volume of a cone. So it's given us volume. This is one of those tricky ones where it gives us the volume and we got to work our way backwards to find the height or something. The diameter in this instance. So it says the volume of this cone is 122.8 cubic inches. And the height of it is 4.5 inches. It says find the diameter. So first we think about what is the volume of a cone. So the volume of a cone is 1/3 pi r squared times the height. All right, so let's plug in everything I know. I know the volume is 122.8. I know pi is 3.14. I don't know what my radius is, but I know my height is 4.5. Okay, so go ahead and take out your cell phone or your calculator. If you have the either calculator, make sure if you're using your iPhone, you turn it sideways because we're going to have to do that square root button on these. So the first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 3.14 and 4.5. So we're going to get an approximation of what the radius is. So 3.14 times 4.5 is equal to 14.13. R squared is equal to 122.8. So next what I'm going to do is, this is multiplication. In order to separate that, I'm going to divide both sides by 14.13. Okay, so we're going to take 122 and 8/10, and we're going to divide that by 14 and 13/100. This is going to give me 8.690729 equals r squared. Now what we are going to do is we need to get r by itself. So we need to get rid of the squared button. In order to do that, what we do is called the square root. Those are like opposites of each other. It's kind of like, how do you get rid of addition? You do subtraction. How do you get rid of division? You use multiplication. Similar to that, this is how we get rid of r squared. Now I just realized I made one mistake. So what we're going to do is take a step back, because I forgot one important thing, which is, I'm going to put it here in black. I forgot that 1/3. So there's a division by 3, a division by 3. So I still have, if I were to solve this, I would have 8.690729 is equal to r squared over 3. That's the 1/3 from the cone that I forgot to take into account. So similar to the other problems, all I need to do is just get r squared by itself. And since I'm dividing by 3, I want you guys to think, what's the opposite of division? And it is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. These are going to cancel, and this is going to give me now 26.072, so on and so forth, equals r squared. Now in order to get what r is, like I was saying before, I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So like I said, on the blue calculators, it's the button that looks like this. And on your iPhones, it's the button that looks like this. Okay, you gotta turn your iPhones, you gotta turn your iPhone sideways to see that. So once I square it, I'm going to get an r of 5.1. Now it's asking, what is the diameter? So to get the diameter, I just multiply this number by 2, and that should give me 10.2, which it does. So 10.2, let me double check what my units is. Height, cubic inches. So it's 10.2 inches is my final answer. Okay? All right. So now it says the volume of a cone is 188.5, and it has a diameter of 12. Find the height. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug everything we know into the formula. Let's not forget that 1/3 like I did before. So what this is going to look like now is 188.5 is equal to 1/3 pi, which what we're going to use for is 3.14, r. Now, it doesn't give me the r, it gives me the diameter. Therefore, the radius is going to equal 6. So we're going to have 6 to the second power times the height, which we don't know at the moment. So I'm going to give myself a little bit more space by writing it just below here. I'm going to have 188.5 is equal to 6 times 6 is 36. And so I'm going to have 3.14 times 36 times the height all over 3. I'm going to reduce the 36 and the 3 because 36 is divisible by 3. Therefore, I'm going to have 188.5 is equal to 3.14 times 12 times the height. So we're going to multiply that by pi, 3.14. And I'm going to have 188.5 is equal to 37.68 times h. Okay? All right, so now what we're going to do is divide both sides by 37 and 6800ths. And this is going to give me h is equal to, let's see, 188.5 divided by 37.68 equals 5. So my height would be 5 as my final answer. Don't forget your units, diameter in feet. So my diameter is 5 feet. Excuse me, my height is 5 feet. All right, so let's go ahead now and look at this. We got 2 more. It says a salt and sand mixtures are often used on icy roads. When the mixture is dumped from a truck into a staging area, it forms a cone-shaped mound with a diameter of 10 feet. So a diameter of 10 feet and a height of 6 feet. Find the volume. So guys, I don't know if you've ever seen this. Have you ever seen like a dump truck or even like something with a conveyor belt that has dirt on it that's dumping it? When you dump sand, even if you go to the beach and you have a ton of sand in your hand and you're dumping it out, it's going to dump and form a cone shape. So using this information, we're going to use it to find volume of this salt mixture. So volume is equal to 1/3 pi r squared. So volume equals 1/3 pi, and I forgot to multiply by the height, pi r squared. Now my diameter is 10, which means my radius is 5, times the height. So I'm going to have volume equals 1/3 pi times 25 times 6. Now there's a few things about what we can do. We can multiply all this out, or if we see is anything divisible by 3 up here. And it is, the 6 is. So 6 divided by 3 is just 2. So now I'm going to go ahead and multiply this out. I'm going to have volume equals 50 pi. And I think it was in meters or feet. In feet. So feet cubed. So here's the most accurate answer I have. It's in terms of pi. I believe it wants us to round it to the nearest tenth. So what I'm going to do is do 50 times 3.14. And that's going to give me a total answer of 157 feet cubed. So depending on what the answer is asking, if it's asking give me the answer in terms of pi, this would be your final answer. If it says use 3.14 for pi, this would be your final answer. Okay, last one, a glass in the shape of a cone. Here's my glass shaped in the cone. Has a diameter of 8. So my diameter is 8. And the glass has a volume of 200 milliliters or cubic centimeters. What is the greatest depth that a liquid can be poured into the glass? So it's basically saying, what's the height? So if you have a cone shaped, picture like a beaker or even an ice cream cone or something, and it's basically saying if I poured water into here, what is the greatest depth it can be? It's just saying how high can I fill it up before it overflows. So basically what it's saying is how tall is my glass? What's the height? So my diameter that they gave me is 8, which means my radius is 4. Let's go and make this a little neater. My radius is 4. I don't know what my height is. That's what I'm solving for. But I know my volume is 200. So given just that information, we have everything we need to solve this problem. So let's go ahead and move everything over here so we have a little bit more room. So the formula is, once again, for the last time, 1/3 pi r squared times the height. So I'm going to have 1/3 pi times my radius, which is 4 to the second power, times the height, what I don't know. And that's going to equal my total volume, which is 200. So 200 is equal to 1/3 times 3.14 times 16 times my height. So now I'm going to multiply 3.14 times 16, and that's going to give me 200 equals 50.24 over 3 times my height. I'm now going to divide that by 3 to have 200 equals 16.746 repeating times my height. I'm going to divide both sides by 16.74667, and that will give me my total value for my height. So let's go ahead and take 200 divided by 16.7466666, and I am going to get a total height of 11.94 as my final answer. We're going to use centimeters. Okay? So guys, that's the lesson for the day. When you're checking your homework, and if your answer is close but a little off, it's because the answer key uses pi, whereas what we've been using in the answer key instead of using the button. So if you have a fancy calculator, you're going to have the button pi, which is much more exact. But we are using 3.14, which is a little less than pi. Okay, so if your answer is a little less, you're still getting the correct answer. Okay, so go ahead and start your homework. If you need to go to the Learning Commons and print, that's no problem. Try to get this done. I really want you guys to have no homework over break. So enjoy, and I will hopefully see you guys soon.